all these rejections from the middle Bollinger Band.
Resistance we're going to need.
If you actually see here, we get a
And we'll look for a healthy higher
I
low.
would not
don't have
be
the
convinced
pullback
to
to
enter
cross
long
structure.
trade.
Hello, YouTubers. First person to tell me who says that gets a free course. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, BCH, ETC, daily, weekly, 5-minute, hourly. We're going to look at all kinds of time frames. Currently sipping on a Dead Guy Rogue Ale. And after you make some good money trading, things get fancy. That's actually a sarcastic point because I am a huge proponent of not changing your lifestyle with your income. Certainly you want to reward yourself and go on a trip or invest in real estate and do things like that. But in terms of, buying a huge house that you don't need, buying a new car, racking up all these payments, that's why you see people go into debt and bankrupt. All these celebrities and sports stars who they get this lifestyle that their money cannot keep up to support. So the cryptocurrency market in 2017, we had people quitting jobs. We had people thinking, I can do this forever. This is really easy. And obviously that's not the case. So you cannot anticipate consistent income. Obviously it would be great if you have consistent income every year as a trader, but there's going to be good years and there's going to be bad years. So you want to anticipate for that. And for my personal story, I still drive a 2008, maybe 2007 Subaru that's probably worth about $5,000. And it's got a big old dent in the side from where I was playing with the goats. And if you look at me and my hair and my car, you would say there's no way that guy makes more than $30,000 a year. And that's the way that I like it. So stay humble and stay smart, right? If we want to retire early, I'm not going to start spending all my money right now. I'm going to start establishing the game plan for long term. How can I make this money work for me in my sleep while retiring at a nice ripe age to enjoy life and do things that I want? So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we have a daily inside bar forming. I'm currently all cash, very patiently waiting. There's tight setups all around the place. We're still in downtrends on the daily and weekly time frame, so I'm not going to be looking to rush into any moves. The bears are looking to add on the daily exponential resistance, and at this point, the bears have a clear stop loss level, as we've had plenty of clear stop loss levels in the short term, but it's this double top here at, 66.33 and 66.36. So if that level doesn't break, I don't have much interest in the bulls. We have another resistance level here at 64.75, and we have a 4-hour equilibrium setting up. So we can see this 4-hour equilibrium was likely today. I haven't paid much attention to crypto today. And I always like when we have a clear setup because that tells me that I don't have to pay attention today. So the size of the pullback from the high was more than the bulls wanted to see. And I probably still had a little bit of a position in ETH when I did the video yesterday. But as soon as this pullback got significant, and as soon as we lost hourly higher lows, we had a bit of an hourly head and shoulders pattern here. Left shoulder, head. This was the right shoulder. And we broke the support level, and Ethereum did the same thing. And I said, all right, I'm locking in on my profit. We're in a downtrend on the daily. We're in a downtrend on the weekly. I'm not going to try and give these bulls a bunch of wiggle room. I'm going to lock in the profit when I have it. I think that's 4 green trades in a row over the past week or so playing with the bulls. So there's definitely trades in both directions in this current environment because it's a little bit choppy and there's a lack of clarity. I'm not extremely comfortable as a bull, certainly not. And I'm not extremely comfortable as a bear either. So if I were a bear, that would be my stop loss level, either the 4-hour, this hourly chart has multiple tops here, which is the 4-hour lower high, 64.75, that's one stop level, and 66.36 is the other stop level. We did just lose the hourly higher low there. So now we're heading down to Bitcoin support level of 6,200. If we break 6,200, there is very limited support until we get back down to 5,900. So I don't want to be in a bullish position until the bulls prove something to me. As I keep saying in these videos, the burden of proof is on the bulls. The bears are more comfortable than the bulls. The bulls have to prove it by breaking resistance, getting follow through. We had this 4-hour exponential cross here, but it's about to cross back bullish unless the bulls break this 4-hour equilibrium bullish. And of course, since we're down near the low, it's much more likely we see a bear break than a bull break. I do anticipate the bulls are likely going to hold this level the first attempt, but just overall, more likely for a bear break than a bull break. I'm sitting all cash and patiently waiting. I am in no rush. Ethereum on the daily time frame, inside bar as well. To change the daily trend, we're going to need a higher low and then a break of the lower highs. And the 4-hour time frame's in a nice equilibrium as well. High, low, lower high, and we're looking for a higher low compared to 275.93 Resistance is 298.89 and 305.40. Very clear, tight setups. Volume was non-existent. I put out those charts today on TradingView, and this morning I said, looking for a 4-hour equilibrium, looking for a lower high to set. The bulls were on their move this morning. And why did I say the lower high is likely to be set? Look at the volume. Obviously, this is Coinbase, but I cross-referenced with Binance, and it was very similar. Or not with Binance. Yeah, it was. No, it was Bitfinex I cross-referenced with. Either way, the volume was non-existent. If you see very, very low bull volume, you know the very likely scenario, even without seeing the volume, I say a likely scenario here due to the size of the pullback is that equilibrium. But as soon as I look at that volume, that confirms it and almost doubles the chances that doubles my confidence that we're going to set a lower high. And Bitcoin was the same way. Look at this 4-hour volume down here. It's just non-existent. So watching that tight range on Ethereum, honestly, as I say in these videos, you want to find the one time frame that has the most clear setup, and that's the time frame that you're paying attention to. And right now, that's the 4-hour time frame for me. Litecoin on the daily chart also saw a dump and a bounce. We've got our range set between those two levels, and the bulls are looking for a higher low and then a break of those lower highs. So the 4-hour time frame is in a tightening range here as well, and that's all we're watching. It's nice and simple. We don't have to overcomplicate things. If we see a break of $54, it's bearish, and if we see a break of $57.68, it's bullish. Once the break occurs, the first thing I'm going to do is look at Bitcoin and say, has Bitcoin broken its levels as well? If it has not, I'm going to take the break with a grain of salt. That goes with any individual name. Have to see confidence and follow through on Bitcoin as well. And the same exact thing happened in the Canadian MJ space today, where some individual names broke their high of yesterday and saw some follow through to start the day. The sector leader, WEED, double topped at the high of yesterday and then pulled back the rest of the day. So while those individual names are now left with a big upper wick, even though they broke bullish, the sector leader did not, and it pulled back. So those bull breaks need to be taken with a grain of salt. And again, that's just an example of how everything that I say in all these videos can be applied unilaterally across all kinds of sectors, all kinds of markets. That's that. So Litecoin tightening pattern. BCH had an all-out dump. It's trying to bounce. It's not a strong bounce at this point. We have the low, high of the bounce, still clear lower highs on the daily time frame, and the 4-hour. Notice we're getting correlated to Bitcoin more. This is the most correlation we've seen with Binance. It was certainly known for its lack of Bitcoin correlation over the preceding months, but now we've got a 4-hour equilibrium very similar to Bitcoin. 541.38, 538.78 are our two lower highs. We've got support at 502.24, and we're looking for a higher low compared to that level. So 4-hour equilibriums all over the place. ETC USD getting added to Coinbase to begin trading here in under 3 hours, 2.5 hours essentially. So we're seeing a run up into that action, and we have to be cautious of a sell the news reaction once they do go live. So the daily chart has seen a very solid bounce. We've gone from 1013 up to 1492, pretty much a 45% bounce. In order to change the trend, we need the higher low and then the bull break to break the lower highs. No 4-hour equilibrium here because the bulls are in full control. We're looking at support of 1325 and the hourly time frame. We are looking at a higher low compared to 1325. Let's see if the bulls can form that higher low. A loss of the hourly higher lows would be a red flag to me, and it would make me cautious of a sell the news reaction. So shorts can be keeping an eye out as well. Clear double top at 1492. And if that level breaks, we're looking at 15 psychological. So the hourly uptrend is still intact. We don't go live trading for another 2.5 hours. So waiting for that action. But volatility and volume, we're expecting a spike once trading goes live. And we'll see if it's sell the news. And it'll be very clear if it's a sell the news because we will lose hourly higher lows. So that's where we stand on all these names. Don't have to go too far in depth. We're watching the 4-hour time frame. If we get bull breaks, we have resistances nearby. We know that double top is really important on Bitcoin. If we get bear breaks, we're looking down at our recent dump lows. And other than that, sitting on my hands and keeping busy trading other things. Today I was trading WEED, traded some degas, natural gas, traded some miners, bull miners. I put out that gold video a while ago, watching those monthly equilibriums, and gold is falling apart. Let's look at it. Gold is relevant to cryptocurrency, right? XAU, USD. I don't see any correlation with gold and cryptocurrency right now. This is the most oversold that I have seen gold in a very long time. The daily RSI down at 20. The weekly RSI is the lowest in about 5 years, 23. 4-hour RSI got close to single digits down at the low. Bottom line is, if the gold weekly chart is the most oversold that it's been in 5 years, we're not seeing that money come into crypto right now. So that money's leaving gold. Where's it going? It's going to other places. Tech's still strong. Apple was a raging all-time high bull today. Bottom line is the markets are still on fire, still looking at all-time highs. Gold is dumping in accordance with that. That being said, inversely, gold is usually a safe haven for when the markets are weak. But someone was asking me about that today. Look at these 2 weeks. I want to point out these 2 weeks right here. End of January, start of February. 2 red weeks on gold. What was SPY doing? End of January, start of February, dumping over 2% in 2 weeks. Absolute collapse. And we saw no buying of gold. And we are noticing this, Chart Guys James as well. We're noticing in 2018, gold is not a safe haven for volatility and for uncertainty in these markets, but neither is Bitcoin. So we're noticing shifting dynamics, but it's not very clear where the money is going just yet. It's just very clear it's still in the stock market as the market is all-time highs. And people are talking about the dollar collapse and cryptocurrency becoming the new king. The dollar's on fire. The dollar's been running for months, and that's timely for my Iceland trip, hoping it keeps up for another few weeks. And we are, again, just look at the monthly chart for the dollar. Not really any kind of collapse nearby. We've been green essentially 7 months in a row. Significant bounce where we've gone from 88 up to 97, essentially a 10% bounce over the last 7 months. So there's no weakness in the dollar. There's no weakness in the markets. There is weakness in gold. There is weakness in cryptocurrency. That's where we stand on the overall market. I hope you all continue to do good things out there. Here at the end of the video, we got another jam. We are in Yosemite. We got a beautiful background, and this is how cavemen entertained themselves back in the day. We got some sticks and a big old tree, and we are putting out an album. This video was 20 minutes long before I cut it down a little bit. We'll save the extended version for the DVD unedited release. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay patient. Don't overtrade. Sit on your hands. Everybody's going off of the deep end.